Yo, what up, IG Live? As y'all can tell, I'm getting ready for my NFL Sunday slew of games today. I think I mentioned a couple days ago that I'm because I love football so much, I'm gonna do my little picks. Every Sunday if I do have the opportunity or the schedule permits itself. So I'm picking my winners or who I think may win the game and a couple reasons why. Obviously, missed the Thursday night game in which the Lions was able to take care of business. I've been up since about 5:30 watching the London game, between the Jags and the Falcons. The Jags gonna pull that one out. They have 23-7 right now. Didn't get an opportunity to, pick that game beforehand, but Jags look pretty good defensively today. Trying to, Desmond Ridder put a lot of pressure on him. Bijan has some couple great plays, but for the majority of the time, the Jacksonville defense was great. So, with the 10 o'clock games is about to start soon, 1 o'clock Eastern. I just want to start with the games. I believe, the game of the day for the 10 o'clock games, 1 o'clock Eastern, is going to be between Miami and Buffalo. And obviously, with Miami being 3-0 right now, Buffalo being 2-1, it's pretty good. Obviously, that's one of the best divisions that we have in football, but it's going to be a pretty good game. Playing that game up in Buffalo. I think, Tua's been electrifying this year so far. Obviously, Tyreek Hill, you can never, ever take a playoff against him because he's one play away from throwing up the peace sign, going in for 6. But Miami's been playing great this year. Mostert, the running backs, that running back core, Miami's been great. Looking at some of the injuries, right now, I don't see any, pretty much big injuries that we have. Jalen Phillips, is out at linebacker. Eli Apple is out. Deshaun Elliott is out for the Dolphins. Obviously, you need all your secondary when you're playing against Buffalo because of that, that receiving core with Buffalo. And then on the Bills side, the main, obviously Kasir Elam is out. But the most important one is Jordan Poyer. He's out tonight, or today, I should say. But with that said, between the Dolphins and Buffalo, and I don't want nobody to take this personal. I'm not going against nobody. I love all players. I love all teams. Well, I don't love all teams, to be honest. I'm a Browns fan, but, I just want to see a good game and, don't be putting up your life savings on my picks or nothing like that. This ain't for the bettings and with all that, whatever the fuck y'all be doing. This is just because I love football and it's just me being a fan of the game. So, back to what I was saying, between the Dolphins and the Buffalo, man, as great as Miami has been playing, and I got a lot of great friends that's a part of that organization. I'm going to go with Buffalo. I'm going to go with Buffalo to give Miami their first loss today. It's just tough, playing up there in Buffalo, and I believe Buffalo is looking forward to that challenge. Just as much as Miami is, but I'm going to give Buffalo the nod on there. Moving on, to the second game, you got Minnesota versus Carolina, 2 winless teams. Very surprising right now with Minnesota not being able to get on the win board. And I just think they've just been struggling a little bit offensively, trying to get their rhythm. They got a lot of playmakers offensively, with obviously their receiving core with Justin Jefferson, KJ Osborne, and the rookie that they got from USC, Addison. Kirk Cousins is always solid. I think, their run game, they got to mix it up a little bit with their run game so they're not so pass heavy. But, for the majority, they just got to get their offense going, get their defense going a little bit. I love watching Harrison Smith, super beast at that safety position. Carolina, obviously, been struggling. Obviously, young team, young core, rookie quarterback. Not to speak too much, but I'm gonna go with the Vikings getting that first win today versus Carolina in Charlotte, getting their first win over the Panthers today. I look for them to play a lot better today. The third game, two other winless teams, Denver versus Chicago. Obviously, Denver nor Chicago has looked great at all this year. It's pretty ugly. I think last week with Denver, Miami, 70-20. Miami did whatever they wanted to do offensively. And then Denver coming into this game, no Justin Simmons. Obviously, Frank Clark defensively. No JL Skinner. No Josie Joel defensively for Denver. So the offense is going to put a lot of pressure on the offense. I know Patrick Surtain is still super elite for the Broncos at the cornerback position. They got a couple other guys, but it'll be a little tough for them. But offensively, they're going to have to pick it up. They do got some good skilled players offensively, but it's going to take a little bit while for that offense to start clicking with the new system. With Sean Payton in there, but you can say the same for the Bears. Obviously, offensively, they haven't looked good at all. Justin Fields hasn't looked comfortable. They got great playmakers from the outside looking in, and DJ Moore and Chase Claypool's out. They got some really good players, but it just doesn't seem like they're able to to click right now. Offensively. Or defensively. I think defense has been playing okay, but the offense hasn't played well at all. With this game being at Soldier Field, I don't know. I want to say Justin Fields is going to play better today. I want to say that Russell Wilson is going to play better today. So I'm just going on a limb and just say I'm going to take Denver. I'm going to take Denver. I just feel like they got a little bit more firepower, man, and I think it'll give them a win today. So I'm going to take the Broncos in Soldier Field. Now, here's my game that I'm looking forward to more than any of them because simply I'm a Browns fan, and that's Baltimore going into Cleveland today. It's obviously a division game, AFC North showdown between, Baltimore and Cleveland. Baltimore has got a lot of injuries, especially offensively. No Odell Beckham, no Rashad Bateman. Obviously, we know J.K. Dobbins went down week 1 with the Achilles. Speedy recovery to you, G, Ohio State alum. Get back soon. But at the end of the day, when you got Lamar Jackson, it doesn't matter. Does not matter who's in the lineup. He's going to give you a chance every Sunday, or if they play Monday night or Thursday night. Lamar Jackson going to always give you, a chance. On our Brown side, obviously we missed our franchise quarterback, and Deshaun Watson just become inactive with the right shoulder, wasn't able to practice or throw this whole week, and obviously our franchise running back, got hurt, not too long ago. Nick Chubb, speedy recovery to you, brother. I can't wait to see you back on the field. But with that said, obviously it's always difficult starting a rookie quarterback. He played extremely well, obviously. Dorian Thompson played extremely well in preseason. Obviously, we know it's all preseason, but the reps is reps, and he looked really good. Baltimore is always going to be a tough defense. Anytime you staring, at Roquan Smith, Patrick Queen, and the rest of those guys defensively. But also, you got to stay at our defense too. And we know we got the number 1 defense in the league right now, holding teams under all the averages: points per game, rushes per game, passing yards per game. We're getting off the field on third downs. Myles Garrett is probably at the top, along with T.J. Watt, as far as Defensive Player of the Year right now as it stands through 4 games. So I got to go, and of course I'm going to go with my Cleveland Browns to win that game. Moving on to another AFC North game, AFC North team is the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Houston Texans in Houston. Not going to take too long on this one, but I love watching Pittsburgh's defense. I think they're phenomenal. They're well coached. What can you say about their defense? They're going to give you a chance every single Sunday, or like I said, Monday or Thursday, depending on when they're playing, because they're just super well coached. Mike Tomlin is one of my favorite guys in the world. Love him. He's awesome. I think Houston got a great win last week. Shout out to my guy, C.J. Stroud, the Ohio State alum. He looked amazing last week. And I hope he looks amazing this week as well, because I'm rooting for you, kid. Hope you continue to improve. But I'm going to go with Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh just, they're just very good, very solid. No matter who's playing for them offensively, I think defensively, they're just always in tune. But hope to see a good game on that game. Moving on to the Los Angeles Rams versus the Indianapolis Colts. I think one of my surprise teams, even though they're just 1-2, is the Rams. They lost a lot of skilled players. They lost a lot of players offensively and defensively. Jalen Ramsey gone. Down with the Dolphins. Speedy recovery to Jalen Ramsey. Bobby Wagner left, went back to Seattle, and so on and so on. But one of the staples is Big 9-9, Aaron Donald. He's still there. He's still making plays, and they're gonna always have a chance with that big fella. Making sure he's controlling the defensive line, and that offense has looked surprisingly well. Obviously no Cooper. He hasn't been able to haven't been able to play yet. Still coming back from, I believe, a hamstring. I could be wrong, but he should be hopefully making his way back soon. But they do got I call him what do they call him? Puka Doncic, the rookie receiver who through 3 games got the most receptions of any rookie in NFL history. That kid has been balling. On to the Colts, I was looking forward to seeing Anthony Richardson, but obviously we know he went down with the concussion a couple weeks ago. So Gardner Minshew is, I believe is starting for them right now. So you got a 1-2 Rams versus a 2-1 Colts. Gardner Minshew he looked good last week. I can't even front, man. But I'm gonna go with the Rams. I'm out here in LA, man. We always, try to protect each other, man. Rams, Lakers, we got like a bond, so I'm gonna rock with them. Move on to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus New Orleans Saints. Obviously Tampa had a tough game. What was that? This past Monday, I believe that was a doubleheader. The Monday game, Tampa versus I can't remember. They went against somebody very good. But whatever. Anyways, Tampa's still 2-1. They've been playing good football. My man, Mike Evans, is a beast. 9 straight seasons with 1,000 yards. Pay that man. All right? Don't matter. He gonna get paid no matter what. But they look good. They look really good. Only really injuries that I see, Jamil Dean is out, cornerback position. But pretty much everybody else, is in the lineup for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You move on to the Saints. Not too many guys are out for them. I believe Derek Carr will play today. If not, it would be Jameis Winston. I did see Derek Carr go out a little bit, I think, but last week, I believe. Could be wrong, but I'm just speaking off the top of my head. And also, I'm on NFL.com, just looking at some of the injury reports. I've been doing my own homework just because I just love the game. I've been watching the game so much. But I'm going to go with, live from the Superdome. That should be a good game. Baker Mayfield been looking good. I know last week was rough on him. But for the majority so far, he's been looking good. It's kind of thrown me for a loop who Tampa just played last week. I want to look it up, but whatever. We'll get back to it. But I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers. I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers versus Saints. In the Superdome, just off a hunch. Let me see. I'm gonna move on, man, to the. Okay, it's a good matchup right here. We got the Washington Commanders versus Philadelphia Eagles. I know Eric Bieniemy has been talking a lot about getting this offense moving, getting this offense in the proper positions to be successful, and they got a lot of players too. A lot of players offensively that can make things happen. But at the end of the day, it's hard for me to go against the Eagles. I just think what they bring offensively and defensively to the table. I think Jalen Hurts is motivated again after that Super Bowl loss. Those receivers, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. I know Quez Watkins is out, but DeAndre Swift, and so on and so on. They just got so many playmakers offensively, and then defensively, they just all over the field. They probably up there with the Browns, the Cowboys. They're probably up there with the best defensive line in the league. They got so many guys that can rush the quarterback, can stop the run. They're ridiculous. So I'm gonna go with the Eagles in that matchup in their home building, Lincoln Financial Field. Move on to the Cincinnati Bengals game. Cincinnati versus Tennessee Titans. Cincinnati got their first win, this past Monday. Versus the Rams at home. I love those all-white uniforms. Crazy, insane. I wish I could put one of those on. Super dope. Obviously the question mark has been with Cincinnati so far is the health of Joe Burrow. That calf hasn't allowed him to be Joe Cool. He's been playing a lot out of shotgun, having the ability to be under center and run a play action game with Joe Mixon. They've kind of taken that out of the playbook because he can't get to the edge, right now with his calf. So, that's a big question mark. But at the end of the day, they got so many playmakers still. Obviously, all those playmakers that they got, at the receiving core, just it's ridiculous. And Joe Mixon is definitely a beast as well. So, and then you go on to Tennessee. They always play solid. Mike Vrabel's, Akron's own. But super well coached. They got one of my favorite players in King Henry offensively on their team. Excuse me, sorry, I've been talking for a while. I gotta take a little sip of this life water. They got some players offensively, defensively. With Tennessee, obviously their defensive line is very good as well. Very good. But I see Cincinnati maybe able to turn the corner. This is a tough game. This is a tough game to pick. I'm gonna be honest. I want to pick Cincinnati, but at the same time, I don't want to pick nobody out of the AFC North unless it's the Browns, because I want the Browns to be able to continue to rise win and rise in the standings. But I wanted to start. I say Cincinnati, but you know what? I'm gonna go with Tennessee. I'm gonna go with Tennessee this week. I got Tennessee pulling that game out at Nissan Stadium down in Nashville. So gotta get to Nashville too. Never been to Nashville. All right, moving on to the 4:00 games. 4:00 Eastern, 1:00 Pacific Standard Time. We got the Las Vegas Raiders going against the Los Angeles Chargers. A game that's here at SoFi Stadium, one of the best stadiums in the world. If you haven't been and you have the ability to go, I think you should check it out. I think if I'm not mistaken, going off the top of my head, I think Jimmy Garoppolo is out today. Maybe I don't know if it's an injury or concussion protocol, but I believe he's out. So they will have the backup quarterback in. We shall see what happens with that. The Chargers are electrifying offensively, but they always find their way to just play all these close games, one possession games, and it either can go one way or the other. The first 2 weeks it didn't go their way. Last week it went their way. They was able to close out a game. Mike Williams, my fault. Get back healthy, bro. Hate to see you, get injured, but have a healthy, speedy recovery. But don't want to talk too much about that. I got the Chargers. Even in their record 2-2, beating the Raiders at SoFi today. Then we go on to the Patriots and the Cowboys. The Patriots is one thing about them. They're never going to beat themselves. You got to beat them. Bill Belichick is one, if not the best coach in football, and you got to beat his team. They're not going to beat themselves. You got to beat his team. And, so it's up to Dallas. It's up to Dallas to go out and beat them. And we know that Dallas sometimes like the best team in football, and sometimes they could not look like the best team in football. So, it's up to the Cowboys to handle business at AT&T Stadium down in Arlington and pull that win out. I do see them winning this game, but I wouldn't be surprised if New England was able to sneak up and snatch them. But I got Dallas winning the game. Michael Parsons is a flat out beast. Keep going, kid. It's like watching Lawrence Taylor all over it again. You know, the way you play with that speed and that velocity and that strength and that passion. It's like watching LT all over again. So I got the Cowboys in that game. And then the last 1 p.m. or 1:25 start Pacific time, 4:25 Eastern is the Cardinals and the Niners. Cardinals played well last week. I think surprised a lot of people the way they was able to handle the Cowboys down in Arizona, and they looked really good, man. Offensively they looked sharp. Defensively they was in tune, and they was able to shut down Dallas from basically the beginning of the game all the way to the end and get their first win of the season. But this is a different beast. The Niners are looking like the best team in football on both sides of the field. Brock Purdy is sharp. Obviously, Debo, Brandon Ayuk. You can't say any more great things about CMC. He's George Kittle, and that's just to name a couple, man. And then defensively, when you talk about Freddie G. Warner, he's just an absolute beast, man. Greenlaw, the rest of those guys, man. Listen, I can sit here and talk all day about the Niners and how great they look, how well coached they are. And I didn't even name all the great players that they have. They just have so many great ones, and they do look like a Super Bowl title winning team so far through 3 games. And I see them keeping it going today, live from Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. I got the Niners winning that game. The last game of the day is going to be Sunday Night Football between the Chiefs and the Jets. Now, obviously, when this game was slated, we were all excited about this Week 4 matchup. You had Pat Mahomes versus Aaron Rodgers. You had these defenses that was great. You had these explosive offenses that was great. And obviously, after Week 1 and seeing A-Rod go down, speedy recovery to A-Rod, man. I wish you the best, bro. Please come back stronger. Us old guys, we need to finish out on top, man. So speedy recovery to you, brother, man. Wish you the best. But back to the topic at hand. The Jets just haven't looked great. Obviously, we all know with Zach Wilson, all the conversation with him so far. But they got a lot of players offensively, man. Bringing in Cook from Minnesota. Obviously, Bryce Hall. Had an unbelievable rookie season last year before he was injured, but looked good so far this season. Obviously, a lot of great receiver core. My guy from the Ohio State Buckeyes, Mr. Garrett Wilson, always looks great. But you got to have an ability to get them the ball, And so we see what happens with that offense. Obviously, defensively, with them right now, they're just on the field too long. We know that the Jets defense is really good. They're just on the field. Time of possession is just kicking their butt right now. And they're on the defense. They're on the field a lot longer than they should be. But we know their defense is great, and they will be tested today because here comes the great Patty Mahomes and that slew of arsenal of players that they have with the Chiefs. Obviously, Travis Kelce being the main one that Pat Mahomes is always looking to, but they just got so many. They got so many. You can't just key in on one guy because that's when Pat Mahomes will make you pay. And the big fella calling the plays. One of my favorites, Andy Reid, always calm, collective, and cool. He's going to be calling those plays. So, that is the games, man. I'm sorry, I got the Chiefs. I got the Chiefs winning that game very, very handily. I think that it's going to be competitive. I love the Jets coach, Salah. He's super duper dope. Watched Hard Knocks, had me motivated. Talking about the pillars of the type of player you are, the type of competitor you are. That was super duper dope. Love that. Taking that with me. But I got the Chiefs winning that game. Am I supposed to do the Monday night game, guys, as well? Or does that actually start Week 5? How does that work? Let's see. Because it's not, let me see. Let's see if that game, oh yeah, so that is the end of Week 4. So the last game will be the Seattle Seahawks versus the New York Football Giants. Got a lot of New York friends who are in love with the Giants. PR being one of them, one of my business partners and brothers. He's a diehard Giants fan. It's going to be a tough game for him. I hate seeing my boy Saquon not being in the lineup. That's my boy right there. Keep going, kid. When you come back, you're a beast. Daniel Jones, I think it's always all predicated to him. Being able to do it with his feet, being able to do it with his arm, but getting that receiving core going. Shout out my man Paris Campbell, Akron's own. That's my boy. St. V alum, the Ohio State Buckeye as well. But I'm gonna go with Seattle. I'm gonna go with Seattle, man. Obviously Pete Carroll, super duper good friend of mine. Love him. He's super dope. But I'm gonna go with Seattle. Geno Smith, love the resurrection that their guys made. Obviously was counted out early. And the last couple of years, he's just shown why he was who he always believed he was coming out of West Virginia when he was a high pick to the Jets. And then that DK Metcalf, super duper beast. They got so many players coming. What's my running back's name? Who I love is Kenneth Walker. Played at Michigan State. And what's my fast receiver's name, man? I love him too. Who made that game-winning touchdown? Was that game-winning touchdown last week or the week before? I love him too. He's super duper dope too. See if I can find him. But he's super dope too. Yeah, Tyler Lockett. That's what I was talking. That's what I was thinking about. Tyler Lockett, beast, super fast, super strong. And I think he's been there. I wonder if he's been there his whole career. If I'm not mistaken, I've only feel like I've seen him in a Seahawks uniform. But super beast. So to round out my games of the week, like I said, I know I missed a Thursday night game. I did pick the Lions to win that game versus the Packers. I just feel like they're just the better team, but wasn't able to put that out here. Y'all gonna think I was lying, whatever the case may be. It's cool. And I was up early watching that Jaguars Falcons game, but I just didn't do the IG live and pick the team, but that was a good game. Jags was able to put that out. But yeah, man, these are my picks for week 4. I hope it's a great weekend or a great Sunday of football and Monday. I'm about to get ready to watch the games. I'm about to get to my couch, watch the games. I know y'all probably want me to talk a little basketball, but that ain't till tomorrow. Media day is tomorrow with the Lakers. Y'all can tune in there. But today is all about football. Today is all about football. I do got a lot to say tomorrow, but not too much at media day. But appreciate y'all tapping in with me. I love football. I love the NFL. We had a great day yesterday with college football as well. But today is about the NFL. So about to get ready, get inspired some more watching these guys play the game, get on my Madden at some point today, and go from there. So appreciate y'all tuning in with me, all 21,500 people who was up. And until next time, love.